All right, Pony, as we get started here,
well,
you were mentioning that this is a fight for first place in the league.
That's the top of the pile.
That's the top of the heap right here. Green versus blue tonight.
So it'll be easy to tell them apart.
Hopefully.
Joining me on the microphone this evening, Ophelia Mellons and Mistress Mouth.
Yep.
Perfect. We're all here and we're all ready. Are you ready for some hot roller derby action?
Let's see it happen. Taking to the line right now, number 10.
Screaming Beaver.
And number 48, Feliz Brutality. So while they're getting things set up at the center of the track, looks like we're on track and ready to go. Ophelia and I, Mellons and I, we'll talk about the beginnings and how Derby works. Most of you have probably seen it before, but check it out. Ophelia Mellons, who are those skaters with the stars on their helmets?
Well, those are the Jammers, and you can tell they are with the stars on their helmet, and they're trying to bust through that pack of skaters and earn the lead Jammer status, just like Feliz Brutality has done for the High Rollers. The Jammers are the main point scorers for each team, and for every opposing blocker that they pass, they will earn 1 point.
That pretty much covers it, and we just saw the Screaming Beaver go to the penalty box. We'll talk about penalties in just a minute. Up front, Feliz Brutality having a tough time with a blue wall in the front.
You got Bella Constrictor holding it down with Knife and Megan Moffitt, not a trio I'd want to go against. And she's pushing, hoping to get outside of 20 feet on the outside of Knife, still pushing forward. Megan Moffitt doing a great job of communicating how much space she has to work with.
And Feliz Brutality finally breaks out on the outside, takes all 5 points, and is on her way around. Inside the pack right now, there's been a helmet cover pass, and the star has been passed to Megan Moffitt. And that jam is off.
So because Feliz Brutality was the lead jammer, she was able to strategically end that jam by placing her hands on her hips. And what we also got to see was a star pass when the jammer strategically wants to pass that power off to the pivot. That's the skater with the stripe on their helmet. And you can hand that right over and the pivot will become the jammer.
And speaking of the pivot, there are 8 other skaters on the track. What are their jobs?
Those are the blockers, and they're trying to kill the opposing jammer while helping their own jammer get through the pack. And here we have Headache, number 71 for the Heartless Heathers, a lead jammer. She's going up against Napoleon blown apart in green.
And that jam is off. We got 30 seconds to reset. And we'll take just a moment to talk about penalties and stuff. Did you see anything cool in that jam?
In that jam, I saw the jammer be really smart about getting in there, getting a couple of points, and ending it before the opposing jammer could put any points on the board. So Heather's now up with 2 points. High Rollers in the charge with 9.
Thus the advantage of being lead jammer is calling off the jam anytime you want. And we've got Avalanche up for the High Rollers.
And Jess in the box now jamming for the Heather. She takes a spill and is on the back of Alicia Nesbitt-Smith. Finds that inside line, and she is the lead jammer. That's 2 in a row for the Heathers.
Avalanche still trying to fight her way around. Knife, swing and a miss, and Avalanche is on her scoring pass.
Jess in the box with a great juke. Manages to find her way around the pack and puts up a big 4 points for the Heathers, bringing us 6-9 with the High Rollers in the lead.
I hope it's this tight of a game all evening.
I have a sneaking suspicion it might be. So right now, the Heartless Heathers have a blocker advantage. You see that they have 4 blockers on the track compared to 3 in green. Harkey is spending 30 seconds in the penalty box for doing something not allowed.
Megan Moffitt running the line right now for the Heartless Heathers. Braun Swanson up front with Heidi Gosek and Iron Meg. That's a scary lineup. And Irie Bell is trying to work her way through. Minstrel Psycho breaks out and takes lead jammer and also gets sent to the penalty box for a cut.
Heidi goes Seek with a great force out on Irie Bell, running her way back into the back of the pack.
Irie Bell.
Irie still working her way forward. She's doing the dance with Ron Swanson up front. They have only 20 feet in front of what is considered the pack. And so we see that Irie Bell removed her jammer cap, and that was a strategic move to try and trick the other team to try and find the pivot and draw attention away from her. So that was a really smart move on her behalf.
That is a good idea.
Meanwhile, Minstrel Cycle has put more points up on the board for the High Rollers.
High Rollers sweep the outside, but Minstrel Psycho's dropped and dragged to the back of the pack. Megan Moffitt running the line in the back right now with Bella Constrictor.
Irie having a hard go of it on a four-wall of the High Rollers as they produce a diamond-shaped defense, which is just one of the hardest things for a jammer to get out of. And Heidi goes Seek. Meet Irie Bell.
Heidi goes Seek with the huge hit, the drop and drag, and her and Braun Swanson are going to be back there to meet Irie Bell when she returns to the track.
Minstrel Psycho being sent to the penalty box. But know what? She's getting waved back onto the track. The jammer ref has overruled that jam or that penalty call, and she is able to return to the track without penalty.
Minstrel Psycho through for 4 with no opposition.
And it looks like we're going to go the full 2 minutes here. Psycho
Irie Bell in the middle of the pack right now with the same blockers, and that jam is off.
And that's a big 5 on the board for the Heartless Heathers, and Psycho puts up 4 of her own, excuse me.
Mistress.
Pony.
What do you got?
Well, we'd like to thank, big thanks to Ron Tonkin Fiat, sponsor of our jammer line, the largest selection of new and used autos in the Pacific Northwest. Only a click away at tonkin.com.
On the line right now, and we've got, looks like an official timeout.
That is an official timeout. What do we do at official timeouts?
You run down there and find out what's going on.
Oh.
Or I could go. Hey, what time is it?
That's not the right lead. Porque no?
Porque yes. 2 locations on the Hawthorne and Mississippi.
Amazing tacos. Check them out. It's a taco timeout.
This official timeout sponsored by Porque No. Bam! I threw that at you. Sorry. I threw you both on that.
With the lead, and I wasn't even expecting. What time is it?
All right, so we are in our official timeout here, which the refs have called to review themselves. They're just reviewing a potential no call in the last jam. Looks like we had some differing opinions, and they'll just be discussing that. No call will stand. Let's play some derby.
Let's get back to the game. Police brutality on the line for your High Rollers. Screaming Beaver escorted off the track and right back on. Lead jammer goes to Police brutality.
And the Heartless Heathers speeding up the pack. They have to slow down when the refs hold up their hands, designated that the pack is not formed.
Police brutality with the apex jump calls it off in the turn. Taking all the points she could get.
Official review, Heathers.
So timeouts, each team gets 3 timeouts per game plus 1 official review. Cosmo Damage, the coach for your Heartless Heathers, has called an official review, and they're discussing something that he's upset about. Something he saw and didn't feel like was right going on. then the officials will discuss it, and they'll make a decision as to whether to uphold his complaint or deny his complaint. If they uphold his complaint, he'll get another official review, and if they deny it, he's used up the only official review he has.
So Coach Cosmo is asking for a review of the calls that were made or not made when the pack got split for a few moments there. So the refs will be discussing that, and we'll have a conclusion shortly.
We'd also like to send a great big thank you to Bridgetown Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of the Rose City Rollers since the beginning.
Snap, crackle, and pop. Just in case you're wondering, taking to the line for your Heartless Heathers, number 71, Headache. Yes?
So there is no penalty, additional penalty being called, so he will be charged with his official review. He wanted to get his blocker released from the penalty box, but unfortunately it was for a different call altogether, and there were no pack definition calls made at the time.
Run. And on the line for your High Rollers, K2 Avalanche. Headache off to a strong start there. Everybody bunched up at the pivot line. Avalanche up front, fighting through, but it's Headache on the inside line taking lead jammer. Avalanche on the inside, skirts around Bella Constrictor and is on her scoring pass.
Lots of action at the front of the pack as Hetty's got to deal with Steve Holt and Bashionista. 3 points on the board for the High Rollers.
And
or excuse me, 2 points and 3 for the Heartless Heathers.
There you go. Mistress.
We'd also like to thank OHSU Sports Medicine, proud to be the official medical care team of the Rose City Rollers. Check them out.
Just in the box online for the Heartless Heathers, and she'll be going toe-to-toe with Napoleon Bonaparte.
Napoleon through her line and up front.
Nesbitt Smith there with beautiful blocking on Jess, but she sees the light of day on that inside line, and she'll be awarded lead jammer.
I'd actually say that Jess in the box kind of popped out there on the inside line.
Wow.
Napoleon blown apart, powers through the line.
She blew them apart, that's for sure. She has completed her initial pass, but Jess wisely calls that one off before any damage can be done and puts up 2 of her own, Pony.
Mistress.
Rose City Rollers is a proud Sports Buddies partner, encouraging young people to get active. Check out Big Brothers Big Sisters Sports Buddies.
On the line for your High Rollers, that's Minstrel Psycho.
We got Screamin' Beaver there on the line in blue, and full packs for both the High Rollers and the Heartless Heathers.
Iron Meg, Braun Swanson, Heidi Goes Seek.
Heidi doing a brace move up front, really trying to slow down that pack. It works because Psycho gets out a quick lead jammer status early in the jam.
Screaming Beaver dragged to the back of the pack and staying right now, trying to fight her way through that same diamond in the front. Heidi Gossi covering the outside.
And there goes Psycho, 5 in the sky for her. She's 2 for 2 in her lead jam so far this game.
Iron Meg trying to hold down the outside, but the Screaming Beaver breaks out. And Minstrel Psycho decides to call that one off.
We'd also like to thank Bike Punk, locally printed, eco-friendly stickers, signs, and design. Visit bikepunk.com.
Back on the line for your High Rollers, it's Felice Brutality.
Good Irie Bell now skating for the Heartless Heathers. The blockers in blue holding down that front wall. All 4 skaters on the track. 3 for the high rollers, but no match for Irie. She blows through them as 2 more to beat out front. Passes the 20-foot boundary, and she's the lead jammer.
Police Brutality still trying to fight her way through. 1 more, 2 more to get by. And all of the Heartless Heathers recycle up to the front.
Great jamming by Brute there. She's so great at changing her level and the type of her body is the way she slides through. But that jam comes to the Heartless Heathers.
I like Irie Bell blowing through, grabbing her points and calling it off. Mistress, you got a shorty?
Oh, yeah, we want to say a big shout out to Fat Tire Ale or Ranger IPA. Grab one from concessions because nothing says roller derby like a frosty cold one.
I tend to agree.
And on the line, it's Headache up against Avalanche.
4-2 pack advantage here for the Heartless Heathers. That's huge. Hetty spins around the outside, and Iron Meg is able to reset there. Heidi goes seek, and Iron Meg doing a great job of holding back Hetty.
Up front, Headache breaks around the outside. Iron Meg's there to try and slow her down. She can't do it. Iron Meg with a nice drop back and slowing down Megan Moffitt from taking an attack on her jammer.
All the high roller blockers have rejoined the track. They're up front. Hetty grabs, tries to grab 1 more point. Not successful this time, but I do want to mention Hetty has jammed 3 times and been lead all 3 times. Mistress?
Wow, she deserves a burger from Joe's Burger. 4 locations, awesome burgers, and official feeder of the Rose City Rollers volunteers. Show them some derby love.
That sounds delicious.
You know who loves Joe's Burgers? The King. The King loves Joe's Burgers. He looks like it too.
Coming into this 11th jam of the first period, jamming again is Napoleon blown apart for the high rollers.
And that's Jess in the box in the back.
So far in the first 10 jams, the Heartless Heathers have had 60% lead jammer over the high rollers, but Naps is going to do something about that right now.
And it's a race to the back of the pack with both jammers out and everybody on the run.
Yeah, that jam was just way too fast on that foot race. Better to just call it and reset. All 8 skaters on the track, both jammers really find it difficult to catch up and put some points on the board.
I could see the Heartless Heathers not wanting to give Napoleon Bonaparte a chance to catch up.
Absolutely, she's so powerful.
4-on-4 in the pack, everybody on the track, and Feliz Brutality takes to the track for your high rollers.
Screamin' Beaver takes that line in blue. Heartless Heathers holding back that jam line. And again, we see that diamond brace up front from the high rollers with Braun Swanson holding down the fort.
Feliz Brutality on the attack, powers that line and breaks everything up, and ends up on her way to the penalty box for a low block. Still in the pack, Screaming Beaver dropped to the outside by Bashionista and is on the drag back right now.
Screamin' Beaver has a great opportunity to pick up lead jammer status here, and she does. She will be in control of this jam. Because Brute went to the box, even when she comes back in, she would not be eligible for lead jammer status this jam. Very patient offense here. Heartless Heathers poke, try and get that pack moving, and is very successful. 5 points here for Screamin' Beaver.
Feliz Brutality back on the line, breaks through the pack and is on the run. Screaming Beaver through the pack unopposed. Takes all 4 and calls it off.
That was a fantastic jam by the Heathers.
Absolutely beautiful. Mistress. Oh, hang on. Lead change.
Lead change.
It's just 1 point.
Was that the right cue? Hey, we'd also like to thank Voodoo Donut. Of course, the magic is in the hole. Proud sponsor of the Rose City Rollers and the Wheels of Justice.
All right, 4-on-3 pack advantage to the Heartless Heathers.
Seems to be the case more often than not so far in this period. High rollers putting those penalties up on the board.
Irie Bell powering Nesbitt Smith up front, takes lead jammer. Minstrel Psycho on her attack run.
The pack's really mixed up here. Both teams having an issue walling up together.
It's quite a scramble.
Yeah, quite a scramble. Irie comes around the outside. And we'll be waiting for our points here. They're just confirming if she cut or not, and it is a full 4 points for Irie Bell and the Heartless Heathers, extending their lead 33-28.
Mistress? Oh, wait. Oh, it's a team timeout. I'm sorry.
It is indeed a team timeout.
No, it's an official timeout.
No, I believe it's a team timeout. Well, we're taking a break here. I'd like to also thank Kind Bars. Snack like there's no tomorrow. Kind Snacks, a brand of all-natural whole nut and fruit bars made from ingredients you can see and pronounce. Get them while you can.
Jamming here, a headache for the Heartless Heathers going up against Avalanche. Hetty having a really strong game. High Rollers recycling to the front of the pack. Avalanche finds her way around, and she is the lead jammer.
Headache having a tough time with Braun Swanson until Megan Moffitt scraped her off. Finally up front with no one to get by. Headache is on her attack run. A back block is called on Avalanche, sending her to the box. That leaves Headache in a power jam.
And that also means we're going to have a full 2-minute jam here because the lead jammer was warranted a penalty. So without the ability to call it off, it'll go the full 2 minutes. Every jammer's nightmare. The pack really mixed up here. High Rollers doing everything they can to play that defensive plane, and they managed to get right back into that diamond defense. The Heathers are really setting up for the defense here as Avalanche is released from the box and ready to hit that wall.
High Rollers, a tornado of terror up front for Headache, who's just not making any progress. And meanwhile, Avalanche back on the track. Megan Moffitt on the out. China Doll Assassin on the in.
Hetty just doing what she can, continually moving her feet and putting the pressure. But Nesbitt Smith gets the force out. Just a little hip pop to the outside line brings her back.
Avalanche breaks out, and the Heartless Heathers go on the attack, trying to get their jammer free, but now their hands are full with Avalanche again at the front.
Hetty still struggling, and we have a bit of a pile up right here on turn 1.
Avalanche picks up a cut on the outside and is on her way to the penalty box.
Big opportunity here for the Heartless Heathers to blow open that score. Hetty still completing her initial pass, or her first point scoring pass, so that's 5 in the sky for the Heartless Heathers. A well-earned 5 points, Hetty.
Might have been the hardest fought 5 points I've ever seen.
Another sponsor shout out. When quality counts, call Bridgetown Automotive. Support the Rose City Rollers while taking fantastic care of your car. Check them out, Bridgetown Automotive.
And so we're starting out in a power jam here for Just in the Box on the Heartless Heathers. Strong defensive action here from the High Rollers. The Heathers doing everything they can to play some offense for her.
Iron Meg and Nesbitt Smith holding it together. Hide-to-go-seek on the inside. Just in the Box going nowhere. Nesbitt Smith, a stone wall on the outside. Just in the Box.
Yep, Nesbitt Smith again is gonna pull that track cut penalty on Jess. And here we go. So Avalanche came into the track, even though she was eligible to earn lead jammer status because it's a new jam, she'd opted to hand that helmet cover over to Felice Brutality. And that's smart. After you get a couple penalties, you get a little shaky, you want to just get that star away from you.
You want to give it to somebody who could do something with it, like Felice Brutality, who has proceeded to put the line into the Bassomatic, and through goes Felice Brutality for another 5.
Heathers lined up for their defensive wall up against Felice Brutality.
Up front, they just can't hold her down on the outside line.
That's 4 more points for Felice Brutality. She's put up 14 so far. After 2 penalties back-to-back, this is just a huge, huge game-changing opportunity here for the High Rollers. She's at 19 points so far.
And a cover pass to Smalls, who's now on the run, on the attack, right through the pack. Iron Meg and Nesbitt Smith working her over up front. Dropped out, she's dragged back. Heidi Gosek and Iron Meg there to meet her.
Felice giving it one last push here. She's up against Mace Ventura up front, and that is the natural conclusion of that jam. That is a 27-point jam for Felice Brutality.
That is nuts.
Another sponsor shout out here, Car2Go. Meet the future of car sharing. Sign up today at car2go.com.
So far, we've completed 15 jams of this first period. We have about 10.5 minutes remaining. With this 27-point jam from Brute, that really made them pull ahead, score of 63-41. But one jam, that's the game changer, and that could certainly go either way. High Rollers doing a lot better job now of getting the lead jammer. Naps having a really strong game. Of course, Felice Brutality. And it's going to be about 70%, or excuse me, 60% still for the Heartless Heathers lead jammer status. So they're only getting lead jammer a little more than the other guys.
That team timeout is over, and we are back into play on the track. Napoleon Bonaparte!
And that was a great team timeout called by the Heartless Heathers to try and reset and stifle that momentum that the High Rollers just picked up.
Screaming Beaver on the track for your Heartless Heathers right now is broken through, but finds Braun Swanson, Skeeve Holt, and Shaolin Spocker at the front end. Everybody trading places in there.
Knife having a hard time getting up, shakes that one off and ready to do some damage as Napoleon Bonaparte enters that pack, finds her way around the outside and puts up 5 more points for the High Rollers.
I don't quite know how I missed it, but most of the Heartless Heathers on the track right now went to the penalty box in that last lap. Napoleon Bonaparte weaves her way through and finds herself recycled to the back of the pack.
Knife meeting head to head with Napoleon on the outside, almost gets that block, but Naps powers through as she tends to do. 5 more points for the High Rollers.
Heartless Heathers all regaining the pack, and everybody's taking a tumble in the turn. Braun Swanson there to play telephone pole for Screaming Beaver. Braun Swanson on her way to the penalty box.
It's getting a little hectic. When the momentum changes like that, it's really hard to calm down and stay focused. Mistress, what do you have for us?
Well, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we've got raffle tickets on sale. We've got about 9 minutes left of this first period. Get your raffle tickets, all kinds of prizes at over $300 value. Again, it's $1 for 1 ticket, $5 for 10 tickets, or $20 for your height and tickets.
And we're looking at another official review.
Just in those last 2 jams between Felice Brutality and Napoleon, both on the High Rollers, Brute putting up 27 points, Naps putting up 19 points. That's 46 points, and they just doubled the Heartless Heathers score in 2 jams. And just goes to show, you know, no lead too small.
It's my favorite part of Derby. The game could go any way at any time. anything can happen. Pandemonium, total anarchy down on the track.
We'd also like to thank the PDX Pipeline, your online source for Portland's music, arts, and events happening. PDX Pipeline, check them out. And you know what else? Kelly Brown likes roller derby, so check out Kelly Brown Debt Relief.
Hey, we love Kelly Brown.
Do indeed.
Ophelia?
So this official timeout initiated by the referees, because it's been getting a little sloppy, a little aggressive, they just wanted to review their standard for the flopping calls. I don't believe that any have been assessed, but they just want to make sure everyone's on the same page, skating safe, and not breaking the rules of roller derby.
Safety
Back to you, Pony.
first. On the line, once again, Minstrel Psycho up against Irie Bell for your Heartless Heathers. Harikari, Nesbitt Smith, Iron Meg out there for your high rollers at the moment. Iron Meg up front trying to slow down Irie Bell. Harikari bridging out. Down goes Iron Meg. Lead jammer, Irie Bell.
There goes Minstrel Psycho catching up. Boy, she just blows out the front of that pack as Irie Bell hits that high rollers wall.
Irie Bell trying to eke out a point or two as she calls it off on the outside line.
We'd like to give a great big thank you to the Oaks Amusement Park, home of the Rose City Rollers and a place to purchase all your derby gear. Oaks Amusement Park, thanks guys.
Coming into this last few minutes of the first period, the high rollers obviously in control of this game so far, but the Heartless Heathers just need to start chipping away, and they're going to find that momentum shift at any time now.
And on the track, we've got Avalanche up against Jess in the Box once again. A lot of tumbles in the backfield right there. The high rollers losing control of Jess in the Box for just a second, but up front, Nesbitt Smith, Skeeve Holt, and everybody else trying to slow her down. Shaolin Spocker recycles to the very front of the pack with Skeeve Holt, and they cannot get rid of her. Jess in the Box fights her way around for lead jammer.
Avalanche just gets stifled by Mace Ventura and Megan Moffitt, and she did a fake helmet cover pass.
Jess in the Box fighting her way through. Shaolin Spocker takes a huge hit from Knife, who finds herself on the way to the penalty box for a low block.
Avalanche was able to successfully hand that helmet cover over to Shaolin Spocker. Not able to get any points on that apex jump, but I guarantee you she will next time.
It was a beautiful attempt, though. Hey, we'd also like to thank the Buffalo Gap Saloon and Eatery, John's Landing's favorite eatery and saloon. Thanks for being a sponsor.
4-3 pack advantage goes to the high rollers. Headache on the line for Heartless Heathers up against Belize Brutality.
High rollers here now with the pack advantage, holding down the back. They don't want Headache to get any steam, but there goes Brute. If you can focus on the track, the green blur is Felice Brutality.
Headache hung up in the backfield with Iron Meg and Braun Swanson. Working her way through the pack right now. Is free.
Felice Brutality and Headache doing a little couple skate, call that one off because they were in a foot race. Wise call off there, 5 more points to the high rollers.
That's so precious. Rose City Rollers' favorite Clinton Street bar and the only place to get Rose City Rollers tickets in town is the Nightlight Lounge.
Hey, thanks. I love Nightlife Lounge.
It's right in my hood. I go there all the time. Buy me a drink.
Once again, Napoleon Bonaparte on the line for your high rollers, and she's up front with Bella Constrictor and Megan Moffitt.
Smalls now wearing the star for the first time tonight for the Heartless Heathers. She had a hell of a game last night. at the purple versus white Wheels of Justice debut bout.
Holy mackerel, she was awesome.
She was, indeed.
Speaking of awesome, Napoleon Bonaparte was pretty great last night too, and she breaks out and grabs all 5.
Small still having a hard go of it as she has...
Knife Moffitt, Bella Knife can't slow her down. Napoleon Bonaparte once again through for all 5.
Smalls finally able to hand that helmet cover over to Megan Moffitt, but she is going to be facing Braun Swanson and Alicia Nesbitt-Smith.
Knife back to the penalty box.
That's a duo.
Napoleon Bonaparte to the penalty box, leaving Megan Moffitt with the helmet.
That's Hulk Smash! Megan Moffitt now wearing the star for the Heartless Heathers, working her way around the outside. Alicia Nesbitt-Smith giving the very powerful assist to Braun Swanson to complete that force out. And that's great teamwork. I love throwing my friends onto the ground.
That's a scary lineup to come back onto the track and face. Braun Swanson, Nesbitt-Smith.
But it's Megan Moffitt.
And dragged to the back. Knife back on the track, hoping to cause a little bit of anarchy and get Megan Moffitt free.
That is a completely successful textbook power jam kill by the High Rollers. Knapp still working her way up the inside. She's just so powerful, gets low, pushes through, and puts up 4 more points for the High Rollers as they break the century mark.
Braun Swanson once again playing the role of telephone pole, slows down Megan Moffitt's attack, and that jam is off.
Full 5 points there for Megan Moffitt as she had received the helmet cover from Smalls. And that was an 18-point jam for Napoleon.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, just a few minutes left in this first half. Get your raffle tickets. You don't want to miss out on that.
Minstrel Psycho on the track up against Screaming Beaver right now. A high block called on Rogue One. She'll be on her way to the penalty box as Screaming Beaver takes lead jammer.
Boy, she really saw the light of day and exploded out of that pack. It's that quick footwork and burst of speed that just makes a good jammer great.
Minstrel Psycho with some quick footwork breaks from being off the track to being out on her scoring pass.
And that was a brilliant call off here by Screamin' Beaver, just chipping away. Mistress, take it away.
Yeah, we'd also like to give a great big derby thank you to McDonald Miller Facilities Solutions, a very proud sponsor of the Rose City Rollers.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, coming up at halftime, the raffle, but before that, our Rose City Rollers world famous tricycle races.
Ow, ow!
If you signed up to do that earlier, make your way over to the merch table and be ready to race.
Avalanche now jamming for the High Rollers up against the one and only Irie Bell. Gets pulled back by Iron Meg with assistance here from Alicia Nesbitt-Smith.
Avalanche having a tough time up front with the Heartless Heathers.
Whenever you have Megan Moffitt and Knife together, you know that's going to be trouble.
Multiplayer block called on Iron Meg. She'll be spending 30 seconds in the box. Avalanche drop to the inside.
Boy, this is just the strongest defense that you're going to see in the game. Both jammers are so powerful, you can't spare anyone for offense, and that's why you just see jammer pushing. And finally, Irie Bell blows through as she gets through that pack out front.
Multiplayer block called on Nesbitt-Smith.
And Izzy Pop, jam ref, does award her lead jammer status just in time for her to call that one off as Avalanche had completed her initial pass and was in scoring position.
Holy mackerel, this is a rough game. Jess in the box on the line for your Heartless Heathers. And she'll be duking it out with Felice Brutality. Don't tase me, bro.
Don't tase me, bro. This will be the last jam of the first period. Felice Brutality pushing her way through up front.
Feliz Brutality powers the line, breaks to the inside, and takes lead jammer. Jess in the box, fighting her way through. Shaolin Spocker to get by. Bashionista coming in for some help.
Brute jumps at apex, runs into the back of one of her own teammates, taps her, says, "Excuse me, I'd like to pass." She does it and puts up 5 points for the High Rollers.
Jess in the box on her scoring pass. Feliz Brutality on the inside, unopposed.
So casual. That's a
La-di-da.
9-point jam as we reach the conclusion of the first period. A score of 114 for the High Rollers, 61 for the Heartless Heathers. But don't worry, folks, we have so much more roller derby coming at you in the second period.
How much more?
30 more minutes to
Oh
be
my
exact.
God! Depending on whatever. Coming up next, tricycle races, and get your tickets ready, the raffle.
Woo!
And we're right back in it. This would be the second half of Game 8, the fight for first place versus the Heartless Heathers and the High Rollers.
Hey, Pony, do you like numbers? Do you like technical information about roller derby?
I know somebody does.
I do.
Awesome.
Check this out. In the first half, Heartless Heathers only pulled 10 penalties. And the High Rollers, though almost doubling their score, have 16 penalties. But overall, that's very low penalties for the kind of aggressive play that we're seeing right now.
Super low.
And high-scoring jammers for the first half, Irie Bell for the Heartless Heathers with 18 points, and Feliz Brutality, 54 points for her in that first half.
Holy
And that's including a 27-point jam, the highest-scoring jam of the first period. That was your information brought to you by me. Woohoo!
And on the track right now, Headache and Speak of the Devil, Feliz Brutality. Headache up front, Knife clearing the path for her. Lead jammer, Heartless Heathers.
Also in the first half, lead jammer status really evened out. 10 for the Heartless Heathers, 11 for the High Rollers. So jammer performance neck and neck. And here we go, the Heartless Heathers beginning this game, chipping away with 4 more points. Mistress, what do you got for us?
Well, we want to send another thank you to Hope Baraka, Realtor, helping Portlanders buy and sell their dream home. Hope Baraka Realty.
On the line, number 1, 2, 3, 4, Napoleon Bonaparte. And she'll be up against the Screaming Beaver.
And here we go, 4 on 4. 1 now down in the box, Mace being sent to the penalty box.
Fighting through the pack right now, both jammers not having broken out, but Napoleon Bonaparte is not lead jammer.
And that's a no pass, no penalty, so she did not pass every blocker inbounds. So no lead jam being assessed this jam. So we're gonna go the full 2 minutes here, Pony.
Napoleon Bonaparte breaks through the pack, takes 4 points.
In a jam like this, you're just going to be trading pass for pass, and it's going to come down to strategic offense to make those points really matter and come a lot faster.
Screaming Beaver weaves her way around the outside. Both jammers break out, and Napoleon Bonaparte on her way to the penalty box.
Also like to thank Black Cat Plumbing, your local neighborhood plumbing company, and a proud part of the Rose City Rollers since 2009. That's Black Cat Plumbing. Check them out.
Knapp sitting in the penalty box looking a little confused. We have Penny
Mace Ventura
discussing with the referees.
And the game is back on.
Jam is on.
Headache up front on the inside. Lead jammer, Heartless Heathers.
Hetty again having a very successful night. She's 2 for 2 so far.
Smalls picked up a back block, went to the penalty box. And Headache on the track all by herself. fighting her way through the pack right now.
Knife and Megan Moffitt still on the track, staying together and letting Hetty do her own work because they need to play defense on Napoleon Bonaparte.
Multiplayer block assessed.
Naps completes her initial pass. Hetty plows through that wall, is going to call that one off, see if she picks up any points. 2 more points for Hetty here and the Heartless Heathers.
Another thank you out to Timothy Murray Photography. Visit timothymurrayphotography.com for classic black and white film derby images.
Both teams down 1 to the penalty box going into this jam. Jess in the box on the track up against Avalanche.
A diminished pack slightly, 3-on-3 to start this one off. Jess just leaps to her right and blows through for lead jammer.
Avalanche still trying to fight her way through the pack. Iron Meg covering, and she's out. Bella Constrictor on her way to the penalty box. Iron Meg can't slow down Jess in the box.
Great move by Jess in the box to juke and try and trick the front blocker, and pulls up 4 more points. Heartless Heathers really starting to chip away.
Mistress.
Well, we'd like to thank the friendly people over at Echo Construction who love custom home building, remodels, and of course, roller derby.
Besides one jam not having a lead jammer at all, the Heartless Heathers have pulled lead jammer status 3 out of 4 of the jams so far this period. They've really rallied, and it looks like their jammers are really fired up. Here's Irie who having a hard time with Alicia Nesbitt-Smith.
And Minstrel Psycho is trying to prove you wrong. Bought herself a minute in the penalty box for a forearm.
Irie still working her way through, eligible for lead jammer here. She's got to beat 2 more, and she does it. Heartless Heathers just really on the upswing here. 3-on-3 in the pack. Heathers planning their strategic offense.
Fashionista picked up a forearm, is in the penalty box. Down 1 blocker. Irie Bell still fighting her way against Shallon Spocker and Nesbitt-Smith.
And you, of course, see when the referees throw their arms up in the air like a field goal, the pack needs to rejoin together as quickly as possible. They do that. No penalties assessed that time. Great move by Psycho as she completes her initial pass.
Irie Bell escorted off the track twice, decides to call it off. Shallon Spocker and Nesbitt-Smith doing a terrific job covering the back line.
We're going to start this one off with a clear penalty box. High Rollers got Brute on the line. Police Brutality going toe-to-toe with Screaming Beaver. Boy, if anyone's going to break this lead jammer streak, it's going to be Brute. She's got to plow through, though. Looks like we got Megan Moffitt there with Smalls.
Shredder Cheese drops to the inside. Frankenskate couldn't quite catch her. Lead jammer, High Roller.
And that's the first one of this period. Still having some trouble up front. Screaming Beaver making her best she can.
Police Brutality drops a huge block into Shredder Cheese, who can't quite get it back together right away. Heidi Gosek and Iron Meg up front holding down the Screaming Beaver.
Beaver
cut.
Just able to not cut the track. The jam ref had his eyes all over it, overrolled outside pack ref, which is his right, and she returns to the track.
Just kept it on the track by a toe.
And Brute gets a skating out of bounds call, so she is going to be reporting to the penalty box. Great opportunity here for the Heathers. I believe they have not completed their initial pass, however.
Helmet cover is off. And Screaming Beaver is escorted to the back of the pack. Braun Swanson, Iron Meg
Power jams can be exhausting and confusing. You're trying so hard to play offense. You're trying so hard to pay attention to the other jammer in the track, and it's just like being in a washing machine.
And once again, we've got a star pass to Megan Moffitt, who is, again, trying to Hulk smash her way through the front line.
Out of play call being made on Braun Swanson as Megan Moffitt completes her initial pass and is now in scoring position as Felice Brutality has already returned to the track, and we reach the natural conclusion of that jam.
That was a rough one. Mistress, what do you got?
Hey, you want to know a secret?
Sure.
Viva la Aardvark! Check out Secret Aardvark Trading Company. World flavors produced locally.
I feel like a real sucker.
And full pack here, full brigade out for the Heartless Heathers to start this one off. They're at a 4-2 advantage in this power jam. It's a great place to be. And they put Knife on the track. Give it up for Knife.
Knife, not afraid to attack the line, breaks through. Lead jammer.
Alicia Nesbitt-Smith and Charlene Spock are holding it down for green. Huge jump by Knife. Beautiful fake juke there. 5 points for the Heartless Heathers.
Smalls and Frankenskate providing the anarchy there and scraping the blockers off of her. Knife powering her way through the line. Shaolin couldn't withstand it.
That's 10 so far for Knife. Felice Brutality doing what she can do on the outside. Jumps to the end. Signature move with that shuffle on the line. Is able to keep her momentum in the center of the track and stay in bounds.
Up front. Felice Brutality powering her way through the line.
Knife having a real hard time in that diamond defense, calls that one off to protect her points, and she manages to put 11 points up on the board for the Heartless Heathers.
Front line was like a fist fight in a paper bag. It was incredible. Mistress.
Would also like to send a great big thank you to the Laurelhurst Theater and Pub, the best of modern cinema, independent art, and classic film to Portland's movie lovers. That's Laurelhurst Theater and Pub.
And it's Napoleon Bonaparte versus Headache on the line. High Rollers throwing a big, tough wall at Headache right away. Up front, Napoleon Bonaparte weaving through with one more to get by. But it's Headache on the outside, takes lead jammer.
Heartless Heathers just killing it in the lead jammer department. Let's see if they can continue just chopping wood and changing the outcome of this game. Headache takes a spill, still has to fight against Iron Meg, and calls that one off. But not before Napoleon puts 3 on the board for the High Rollers, and they go 3 apiece on that pass.
Mistress.
X-Ray FM loves Derby. Find X-Ray at 107.1 FM.
I love that X-Ray FM. They've got this old-timey show on Fridays. It's crazy good.
Of course you would like an old-timey show. Your human name is Alden.
How dare you?
How dare you? And right up the inside, Jess in the box, the hero for the Heartless Heathers, reporting to the penalty box.
Avalanche breaks out. She is lead jammer.
Avalanche lead jammer, she approaches the pack. And 5 in the sky for the High Rollers.
Braun Swanson assessed a reverse direction. She'll be spending 30 seconds in the block. In that Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box. Avalanche down, back up again. One more to get by.
Just plows,
shrugging off shredder cheese.
Just right down the middle, blows up 2 instead of 1.
Avalanche waiting out this pass to get her blocker out of the pack, out of the box.
Great effort by Heidi Gosik on Jess in the box. Can't quite make it, but that is a very successful jam for the High Rollers.
Mistress. Another thank you out to Wired Eye Repair, your mom's favorite smartphone and tablet repair since 2010. She told me it's her favorite.
So do they mean my mom, or do they mean your mom's favorite, the skater?
Huh. That's a good question.
Or is it your mom?
Maybe. My mom's awesome.
My mom doesn't know what a smartphone is.
Minstrel Psycho and Irie Bell on the line. And right now we've got a full-on brawl going on. Braun Swanson joining. Down goes Irie Bell for the drag back.
And notice here the high rollers stay together on the pullback. Stronger together, I always say. Irie Bell just having a hard time. There's a multiplayer block being assessed on Iron Meg, and that piece of the puzzle is what releases Irie Bell and earns her lead jammer. Psycho now in the penalty box. So this power jam is a great opportunity here for Irie Bell. She puts 5 more points up on the board for the Heathers as they break the century mark. 42 points now separating these two teams.
And working on the anarchy, it's Smalls and Knife. Irie Bell still having Shaolin Spucker and Braun Swanson to get past. Braun Swanson drops back. Shaolin takes one more swing at it. Give me a forearm for Shaolin Spucker.
So she's able to return to the track, but she doesn't get the full 5 because she didn't pass Shaolin Spucker legally and in bounds.
Smalls on the drop and drag with Minstrel Psycho. Braun Swanson on the drop with Irie Bell. This game's never going to get out of turn 3. Megan Moffat on her way to the penalty box.
And that's a tough call. She was awarded a high block penalty as Minstrel Psycho was attempting to get up. Her big voluptuous lady legs were in the way, so she gets a high block. 4 more points for the Heartless Heathers. That being, is that a 17-point jam? He held up 4 more. Well, 13 points for the Heartless Heathers that jam as they draw closer. 112 for the Heartless Heathers, 146 for the High Rollers.
Screaming Beaver and Feliz Brutality on the line. Feliz Brutality blows through, takes the inside lead gemmer, High Rollers.
Beaver gets pulled back by that high roller defense. Feliz Brutality gallops over that inside apex. 5 points for the High Rollers.
Frankenskate holding the outside line in the back. Feliz Brutality with the second apex jump didn't quite make it.
Nope, and she is going to be sent to the penalty box for a misconduct. And that happens when the jammer leaps and makes contact with a blocker with an established position and knocks them down. So that's a tough call. She really took it up a big chance there.
It's
Didn't
a chance
pay off
you
this
take.
time. But it pays off for her a lot.
Yeah. And Screaming Beaver breaks out.
High Rollers defense certainly ready.
Screaming Beaver slams the line, pushing forward, trying to break through. High Rollers just recycling and staying in front of her. The Diamond defense is absolutely solid.
There's just so much structural integrity in a Diamond defense. Each skater.
It's a room to move around, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's 4 more points here for Feliz Brutality.
Screaming Beaver having a tough time breaking through this line. Shaolin Spucker, Nesbitt Smith. A cut is called on the Screaming Beaver. Bella Constrictor following her to the penalty box.
Ooh, and great footwork, lateral, just jumps to the right, leaps to the left. She's gonna wait for that jam to expire after putting 5 more points up on the board for the High Rollers. That's a 14-point jam for Feliz Brutality.
Mistress.
We'd also like to thank Blaze Streaming Media, the live broadcast of tonight's bout being brought to you by our good friends over at Blaze Streaming Media. Send them your loves on the interwebs. I'm sure they'd appreciate it.
Pow! It's just like we're on TV.
High Rollers doing a great job of maintaining their lead. They've been within a 40-point range here for the entire second half, despite having 5 jammer trips to the box and only 2 for the Heartless Heathers. So they're just doing a great job of killing those power jams. And here comes Napoleon Bonaparte with the lead jammer for herself.
Iron Meg on her way to the penalty box. And Napoleon Bonaparte shrugs it off to the inside, takes all 5.
Big hit there by Napoleon as Knife just really sunk into that hit, but Napoleon just had momentum and blows through. And here's 5 more. That's a 10-point jam so far for Napoleon and the High Rollers.
Knife taking a risky hit.
Great footwork here by Screamin' Beaver. Quick juke on Harry Carey. She's the only blocker on the track right now for the High Rollers. And you know what her job is? Stay on the track.
Definitely.
I'd also like to thank She-Bop, a female-friendly sex toy boutique here in Portland, Oregon. Check them out.
Boy, all of the blockers for the Heartless, or for the High Rollers, earned a penalty in that last jam. We now see Harry Carey reporting to the penalty box. She was in queue. It was full, and it's only full if you have 2 blockers sitting. Once 1 stands, you can sit in there, so 3 blockers can sit in that penalty box.
Leaving Alicia Nesbitt-Smith on the track all by herself.
That's the right person for the job.
Although she's working with Avalanche right now, who is definitely not afraid to play a little bit of her own defense.
Yeah, jammer defense is critical at moments like this. Heidi Gosek is returning to the track, doing a number with Alicia Nesbitt-Smith, but just in the box flies through for lead jammer for the Heartless Heathers.
Absolute persistence in the backfield finds Avalanche still up against a wall of blue. Frankenskate, Bella Constrictor, Megan Moffat on the outside right now trying to slow her down, and she finally breaks out.
Just doing some work here behind Heidi Gosek. Calls that jam off before any more damage can be done. That's 3 points for the Heartless Heathers.
I'd also like to thank Sock It To Me. Be awesome, wear awesome at sockittome.com. I believe they've got socks for sale downstairs. Check them out.
So far, I really think that the story of the second half of this game is the High Rollers defense. Statistically, the Heartless Heathers jammers are outperforming, but points on the board for the High Rollers. There's 8 or 9 lead jams going to the Heartless Heathers compared to 3 for the High Rollers.
Well, if you want to see why those statistics are real, just look at who's on the track right now. It's Braun Swanson, Shaolin Spocker, Iron Meg,
and Fashionista, who had the game of her life last night at the Purple versus White Wheels of Justice game.
Police Brutality through for all 5. Iron Meg trailing back to slow down the assault.
Hetty serving her time as jammer for the High Rollers. I guess I cursed them.
Only by talking about it.
Only by talking. 10 points so far for Brute.
Police Brutality finding it tough on the inside, goes to the out and walks right through.
Brute's keeping an eye on Hetty, keeping an eye on her bench. Hetty hits that wall. Brute looking to pick up a few more points here. Don't believe Hetty has completed her initial pass.
Headache picks up a cut right at the Pabst Blue Ribbon penalty box. She'll be spending 30 seconds.
No points on that last pass. As a 15-point pass for Police Brutality.
186-124 High Rollers. Mistress.
Well, we want to thank the following league sponsors. We've got the Portland Mercury, Portland Vital Signs, City Graphics, and Kay's Bar. Thank you so much for being a sponsor.
One, two, three, four. Napoleon Bonaparte on the line.
Very slow and controlled Heartless Heathers defense. Wow, great leap by Napoleon Bonaparte. She's going to be a lead jammer for the High Rollers.
Quick feet gets you through. Napoleon Bonaparte attacks the line, slides through on 1 foot to the outside, takes all 5.
You know it's a talented jammer when you hear the crowd go, ooh. hits that wall with some force, finds a way on the outside, and that's 5 more points for Napoleon Bonaparte.
Illegal procedure called on Headache. She'll be going back to the penalty box.
Unfortunately, it looks like she entered the pack too close, maybe not outside of the engagement zone as they are relegated to. And that's 5 more for Napoleon Bonaparte as they now cross the double century mark.
Napoleon Bonaparte just blowing up this jam with every pass. Weaves her way through on the inside, drops to the out.
That's real smart to just take the long way, re-enter, and be just cautious at this point in the game. Just stay on the track, do your thing, and let the clock run out.
Powers her way through and takes all 5.
Just pushing through like the freight train she is.
Heidi Go-Seek almost ushering her off the track, but she gets back in before everybody has a chance to react. Napoleon Bonaparte through for another 4. Headache with Nesbitt Smith to get by. Finally on her attack run.
And Naps looking to pick up a couple more points. Doesn't on that pass, but she puts up 24 points for the High Rollers.
Massive jams for the High Rollers this evening.
That's a tough break for Hetty and the Heartless Heathers. Let's see if they can shake that off and tighten up this game a bit. I know they want to. 3 now on the track for the Heartless Heathers as they call a timeout to regroup. Mistress, what do you got for us?
Well, we'd like to thank the following team sponsors. We've got S1 Helmets sponsoring the Wheels of Justice, Left Turn Clothing, we've got Core Service LLC, Red Fox Vintage, Upswept Creative, and Double Barrel Tavern. Thank you so much for your sponsorship. Also want to thank Big Brothers Big Sisters Sports Buddies. RCR is a proud Sports Buddies partner, encouraging young people to get active. Again, that's Big Brothers Big Sisters Sports Buddies.
And I want to give a big personal shout out and thank you to one of the biggest supporters of the league, Agent Meow, spinning the tunes right here at the hangar. Give it up for DJ Agent Meow.
On the line, that's Minstrel Psycho, and we're not quite back at it. Something's going on. Oh, it's an official review. Down goes Ophelia Mellons to tell us what's going on. Mistress, got anything?
I sure do. Again, we'd like to thank Bridgetown Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of the Rose City Rollers since the very beginning. Also, again, would like to thank Bike Punk, locally printed eco-friendly stickers, signs, and design. Visit bikepunk.com.
This official timeout, in the words of a referee themselves, nothing important, just a little housekeeping, keeping track of those penalties, making sure everyone reported to the box appropriately.
Well, while we're in this official timeout, you can always visit the concession stand where New Belgium Brewing Company is featuring Flat Tire Ale or Ranger IPA. Grab a frosty cold one.
Back on the line, and it looks like, well, everybody dance. We're not quite back to the action. Ophelia Mellons, I have a feeling that you might have something to share with us.
Oh, I have something so juicy. Everybody give a hand. Napoleon Bonaparte has broken the century mark and scored 106 points so far this game.
What?
That is incredible. Plus, she played last night against the Wheels of Justice.
Yeah, clobbered it.
This is a crazy, crazy game. Crazy weekend for Napoleon Bonaparte. Great job.
And on the line, we've got Minstrel
Psycho.
Psycho and Irie Bell. Minstrel Psycho with a shove right away, picked up a forearm, is on her way to the penalty box. Leaving Irie Bell on the track all by herself right now to scoop up as many points as she can.
And that's exactly what the Heathers want right now. There's 5.5 minutes remaining in this game, and boy, do they want to close this game up.
Nani Richardson with some fast feet getting herself out of the back of the pack and up with her friends.
And that's
Irie Bell, lead jammer.
Both sets of blockers setting up for this pass in the power jam. Strong offensive step in there by Sassy. Megan Moffitt keeping the bridge, keeping an eye on Psycho, who does the smart thing and re-enters from the other side of the track.
Irie Bell trying to find her way around, drops to the out.
Getting pulled back here by Harikari and Braun Swanson. Irie with a very careful re-entry.
Bella Constrictor, the last line, can't stop Minstrel Psycho.
Irie Bell cutting her losses, ending that jam, 0-0 jam.
Again, we'd like to thank Voodoo Donut. The magic is in the hole. Proud sponsor of the Rose City Rollers and the Wheels of Justice. Go get your donut on.
Them's a purty donuts.
There's some pretty donuts for your pretty mouth.
I love both of those things.
Jess in the box on the line right now. For your Heartless Heathers, she takes lead jammer. Rung up in the pack is Avalanche. Megan Moffitt escorting her out and being assessed a back block.
Just battling her way around, is sent to the penalty box. Sounds like, nope, she's being waved back onto the track. No penalty assessed there. She's having a strong day. In the second half alone, she's been the lead jammer 3 out of 4 tries.
On the attack, that's Jess in the box with Shaolin Spucker and Bashanista. Wisely calling it off before the assault from Avalanche.
When quality counts, call Bridgetown Automotive. Support Rose City Rollers while taking great care of your car. That's Bridgetown Automotive.
Brum, brum. Screaming Beaver and Feliz Brutality on the line.
3-on-4 blocker advantage for the high rollers. Braun Swanson holding down the brace here. Harry Carey doing a great job.
Screaming Beaver trying to weave her way through the line. One more to get by. 2, Braun Swanson still there to hold her down. Skeeve Holt takes a swing at her. Off goes Screaming Beaver. Feliz Brutality weaving her way through the pack right now. Mace Ventura trying to hold her down. And that jam is off. Mistress?
Again, we'd like to thank the OHSU Sports Medicine, proud to be the official medical care team of the Rose City Rollers, available for immediate care for Rose City Roller athletes through our sports medicine hotline, 503-949-4000.
Yes, mistress.
All right, 4 3-pack advantage now, this time for the Heartless Heathers. They take that front wall and just sit on top of the high rollers. Hetty pushing her way on the outside, takes a bit of a spill, and there goes Napoleon blown apart.
I totally got distracted by the action and couldn't even talk. Headache just fighting her way through.
Really smart re-entry from Hetty. She got blocked out, but that blocker fell down, re-entered quickly, putting the pressure on Naps to call that one off before any blood can be drawn.
Crazy huge hits in the apex there. Mistress, anything else?
Oh, sure. We'd like to thank one more time. Let's see, we've got the Ron Tonkin Fiat, the largest selection of new and used autos in the Pacific Northwest, only a click away at tonkin.com.
Psycho now on the line for the high rollers, and she'll be up against Irie Bell.
Minstrel Psycho right away to the front. Megan Moffat running the line. Nesbitt Smith trying to get in there and break things up. And Psycho around the outside.
And that was just a perfect screen for her. Push on the inside. Oh, look, a hole in the out. Zooms right around for lead jammer.
Irie Bell still trying to fight her way through the pack. Minstrel Psycho through for all 5.
And
running up the score in the last few seconds of the game. It's Minstrel Psycho taking another 5-point hit.
And as the period clock runs down, you can pay attention then to the jam clock, and that will come to its natural conclusion. She can call it whenever she pleases. And there it
Minstrel
is.
Psycho's had enough. That game is over. We'll be back at you with the official score in just a few minutes. Coming up next, the victory laps and the MVP awards. Mistress Mouth will be on the floor to do that. And that's the official final score. High Rollers 235, Heartless Heathers 132. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your High Rollers! Taking the #1 position in the home team season. And on the track, your Heartless Heathers. Ladies and gentlemen, we couldn't do these bouts without you. There are always volunteer positions available. Become a part of what makes RCR. Volunteer today. Work the games. Be a part. Become a skater. You can do it. Coming up next, our MVP awards. Mistress Mouth will be running that from the floor. Don't forget to face the television when they talk about. No, make the skaters face.
Are
the
we
TV.
ready? All right. I need High Rollers. I need to know who are your MVPs for the Heartless Heathers.
They might need to talk it over a little.
Prizes. We'll face the cameras too, even. All right, who is your MVP blocker?
Bella Constrictor.
Bella Constrictor, MVP blocker. And who do we have for MPVP jammer?
Irie Bell.
Irie Bell. And who's going to come share with me the MVPs for the high rollers? That would be you. What do you got?
MVP blocker is Braun Swanson. And MVP jammer is Napoleon Bonaparte.
It's like she's practiced that. Congratulations, ladies.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. The end of the show. Thank you very much for showing up tonight. Be careful on your way home. Remember, you can go wherever you like, but you can't stay here. Thanks for coming.